Okie dokie. So this is our body weight workout together. It's in the name. Body weight is what we are doing for warm-up, for the main phase, which has 2 sets of 5 and 5 exercises. We'll see where we're going for time, whether we do 2 rounds or 3. So if something has a single side, let's do one, then let's do the other. And on the 3rd round, if the 3rd round comes, I'll split that time in half. We have got the stretching and the cool down to come at the end as well. So we'll just keep it manageable for you. We'll give you loads of options. There's always modifications. I can always give you some progressions, but just try your best. Each exercise on its own, standalone, work your hardest, and we will get going. So from here, all I'm going to do is do our little kick outs behind. So you're already thinking about our core engagement. So from my rib cage, from my pelvis to my rib cage, and also wrapping around. I do have a little bit of a lean, and it is a little bit of a balance challenge. If you have any issues with knees or hips or ankles or anything when we're doing, and it could be shoulders, wrists, or elbows, anytime that you feel something isn't quite right, then you're just going to take yourself into a slightly different version or just a pared down version. So here, I'm just lifting and bringing those knees up and up. So I'm driving them up to the chest, bringing them as high as my hips allow and my hip flexors. And I'm just using the other arm just as a little counter. And we are swapping side to side. And we've got one more each side. And then from here, instead of a hip opener that has the bent knee, because we've just kind of touched upon that coming to the front, we're just doing another little mini balance challenge of sweeping the legs across you. So also, we will tap in front, and then we will tap behind. So stay on the same side, give me a little lean, give me a little sweep. So a little balance challenge here for you, swap sides, cross body tap, go behind. A little bit like a curtsy when it goes behind. Not quite, but it's that same idea. Again, I'm using my arms as a little mini counterbalance. One more. And here, just walk out on that diagonal. So it's like doing the hip opens that I might do up and over, but we're just pulling them in and in. If you want to go to the up and over, let's do that now as well. Stretching, reaching, mobilizing is where we are right now. So we are getting the heart rate up. We're just going to keep adding and adding. We're just going to come into a lunge, so a lunge position, and that's just whichever side first, 1 foot in front, 1 behind. Give me the calf stretch by pressing into the back heel. Give me a lean into it with the core, with our lovely strong posture, and just lightly hold that thigh. And then all we're going to do is reach and row. So I've got hands coming into the side of me, elbows going back and behind my torso, and my palms are parallel. Last one. Lovely. From here, just step to the other side. Dig that back heel in again. If you'd like to be more upright, with the weight pushing down the back, into the back leg, into that back heel. And then I'm just going to do a little light lean forward. Mind your knees, palms facing, elbows wide. This is an upright row, just sliding those hands through the chest to get those elbows to go wide for me. Let's do 2 and done. Lovely. On the same lines, we're just going to go with a slightly wide plie and just reach those arms up and through. Then we're just going to come dropping down into that wide plie and lift. Down and lift. You can go a little lower. You can stay with more of a sliding back and keep the head and the chest up a little bit more. It's all relative to you. Next one, last one. And pause here to give me our same wide legs, but now parallel. Hands on hips. If you want to reach to something, you could reach to a cabinet or a chair, the base of the chair or the back of the chair. Popping your bottom right out behind you. Breathe in. Breathe out. If you can get to the floor, get to the floor. I'm just going to go with the width of my mat, but if you can go wider, let's go wider. Breathing in. Breathe it out. Sit back in those heels for me. Nice, big, strong, deep breath. Knuckles, flat hands, fingertips. T-shape, if you would prefer a little calmer option. Right up there for rotation, if that's for you. Breathe in, breathe it out. Breathe in, breathe it out. Walk those feet in. And then when we come in, we're just going to come into a light jog. I'm going to take my jumper off because it's driving me slightly nuts. So, just taking a light little jog out. Take it through more of a toe to heel connection if you prefer. Take it into a high knee option if you prefer. And just take your time to kind of see how you feel in this particular movement pattern. So they don't have to ever be beyond what you want. You can keep it manageable, but I'm here to help challenge you. So even here, we could just do our little light punches and a little bit more intensity just by bringing a touch of the upper body into the mix, and you're just driving up. If you want to drive those knees and just give a classic where you would be running and actually moving, you'd be moving these arms to propel you forward. So let's just keep going for about 5, 4, 3, 2, and then find a place to pause for me and just bend in and out of a side bend. Just sweep and reach and press and pull. If you want to go a bit lower, you go lower. If you want to wrap and arch your way around, all of the above can be helpful. So I'm just going to do one more straight over and then straight down. Lovely. So from here, not overexerted, but on the warmer side. So as I touched upon, we have 5 and 5. We're going to definitely do 2 and 2 in terms of rounds. So starting off, we're going to have more so of the lower body work. Then we'd move more into the upper body work. And then we move into the core, as that's kind of the plan for the 5 exercises. So we have a parallel squat to a surrender, which means touching the knees down and the knee down onto your floor, onto your mat, and then coming up and up. If you don't want this for any number of reasons, either it's hips, knees, or ankles, as I already mentioned, then please, by all means, give me a pulsing squat, give me a deeper squat or a heel raise, or just give me maybe a slightly speedier tempo, but controlled version of your squat. So you can mix and match because you know you've got the 2 rounds coming your way. So you just move slightly on the angle so you can see everything. So we're going to be in the parallel for the legs. We're going to be with that lovely upright posture. When we squat down, we then step down, so that you step back to make room to come onto the knees, come onto the knees. So are we ready? Let's do a squat, and then we go down, down, up, all the way up to go squat, and then go down. So there's a mix and match here. If you would like it, you come straight out. If you want to stay lower, you stay lower when you come out. At the moment, what I'm doing is I am leading down and down, same side coming down as coming up. I've just added a little bit of that upper body work, helping with balance, but also just stretching and straightening me out. So, oh, sorry, I missed the squat then. So we're coming up and up. I was thinking about the next thing. So let's go down, down, up, and out. One more. Squat, get low, use the core, come out. Lovely, perfect. So from here, I need you to think about the same sort of movement pattern where it's a reverse lunge. So same thing, things are happening behind you, but you're going into a pulse. If you don't like the pulse, just simply go there, come back, swap sides, go in, go out. It truly is always your workout, whatever feels good. This might be another one for thighs or knees that don't love it. So we'll see where you are with that. Are you ready? Step back, drop in, do a little pulse, stand up. We're swapping sides, drop down, nice upright posture. And then when you are coming out, push out through that back heel, use stance, that start position. You're about halfway. So let's go down and lift. Drop back into the space you create rather than leaning into those front legs. So being mindful of this, 10 seconds, nearly there. Let's do last one. And come on out. Lovely, perfect. So up next, we are still working the legs and the glutes, but we're going to do a hip bridge. If you know and want it, keep the heels and the toes and the feet and everything lovely and flat. If you're okay with it, dig into the heels and you're going to lift up for me into a hip bridge, classic parallel legs, but with the heels digging in, it's more hamstrings that we will be working, and then you're going to give me a crunch. So here we are, dig the heels in, lift up, lower, and you can give me double crunch here. You do not have to curl up. If you want to curl up, you might keep your fingertips at temple even when you're doing your hip bridge, so then you're ready to go. So here we go, hip bridge. When I'm ready, crunch. Breathe in, lift your bottom, nice and high with the hips. That was my exhale. Lift, lower, crunch. Breathe in, breathe out. If you don't want to lift up into the crunch, remember, you can bring double or single knees to the chest, and you can do that keeping head and shoulders down. 15 seconds. Lift lower, crunch. Breathe in, breathe out, push through, 5 seconds, and pause. From here, what we're coming into next is a forearm plank. So if you want to give me a forearm plank that has a little bit of a hybrid already, and you'd like to do a forearm plank with either both knees down, but it's like a box position that you actually put yourself into the forearms, or one knee bent on the mat, one leg straight, and I can call out a halfway and you can swap sides, or just do one on the first round and the next leg down, that switch on your second round. Or you're going to do the full plank version. So that's straight legs, but you're on the forearms, and then you're going to lift the bottom like you're doing a down dog or dolphin if you know that one from yoga, and we'll be coming in and out. So it's very shoulder strong if you are doing the dolphin. If you're coming with me, you're coming down, but if you're ready for it, you could just push back and hold, and this is you starting already. If you want to switch legs and hold, you can. I'm here with my zipped up legs, my lovely flat back, fists or flat hands, and when you're ready for it, you are lifting up. Back to plank, you breathe in, thumbs go up onto your tiptoes, come back down, breathe in, breathe it out, keep going, you've got about 10 seconds, inhale, exhale, one more, and pause there. So if you need it, I always quite like to come up anyway, to chit chat, but to roll and shake out chest or shoulders, neck, wrists, elbows, whatever it is that kind of you touch upon your challenge, but we're just giving ourselves a bit of release. This one, full plank, alternating reach for my toes or the air, in and out of a down dog with the plank, or just the down dog, staying it the entire time and just keep reaching side to side. If you want an all fours version, you could give me all fours balance, opposite arm and leg raise. You could give me a toe tap that comes to the side, and you're just taking away the downward pressure of being on your wrist again, or having the pressure to stay there the entire time. You could mix and match between those options and the down dog option. So are you ready? Plant the hands, tuck the toes, lift the bottom. Just position yourself, if you would like to stay in the downward facing dog, heels down, opposite hand reaches to the ankle, wraps around, touches the shin, whatever you feel is a good option. If you want to come in and out of a plank, you can do a full plank, already done 5. Woo! We're coming back up. We got to go from the top. If you need it, have a water break, have any kind of stretch and release that you need and that is helpful for you. And our ones from the top, if you remember, parallel legs, surrender because you're going down and down on the knees. Change to do the other leg. For me, that's my left leg going to lead me down and bring me back. Don't like that option. Do some little mini pulses, lovely big strong squeeze and stand, or a very deep squat and maybe a slower return or vice versa. Change the tempo, could be your challenge. If you don't want or can't kind of manage to kind of keep the duration and maintain coming down on the knees, because I know it can be a little bit troubling for some. Me included a long time ago. So are you ready? Parallel legs, roll the shoulders. Let's squat, lift, and then go down, down, up, up, down, squat, down in the legs, down, if you remember, on that opposite side leading you. Come out strong, go down deep, add more or less of your squat, of the lower challenge. If you want to, you must use your core to keep in that little micro sort of hinged position or get lower in our legs. We have 10 seconds on the clock. Nearly there. Squat, stand, squat into surrender. When you stand, done. Perfect. So, reverse lunge. You can change which side goes first. We were already doing an alternating version. If you just want to come in and out and you don't want to hang about, you don't have to. If you're okay to step back, give me a little pulse and it's in the legs, not just bouncing up and down for your joints. Still go with your side to side option. Lovely strong posture, shoulders back. If you want an extra challenge, you can have fingertips at temples and work and keep our posture up and in check. Keep your gaze out front and center. Try not to look down, otherwise it will take the rest of your torso with you. Step back far enough that you are protecting the front knee and you are dropping back and down into the space we've created. Challenge yourself. If you want to change tempo and you want to hold, you go ahead and do it. We got 10 seconds. Nearly there. Keep those elbows wide. Last one. And pause. Perfect. Trucking along. So 3 more to go with a kind of hybrid of the next one. It's definitely our core, but it's definitely your glutes and your legs. It's the heels up or entire foot down. Option of the hip bridge. So lift the bottom up lovely and high for me. Then do the crunch in. But if you want to bring the knees to you, keep the head and shoulders down. That is a perfect option. So, are we ready? Let's come and lie down. Dig your heels in if you would like. If you want to keep the hands down, lift up, crunch in, keep the head and shoulders down. This is a fantastic option. Breathe in on the mat, breathe out to crunch, breathe in on the mat, breathe out to give me the hip bridge. If you want to curl up, you can pop it in now. We're halfway. Keep going. Breathe in. Breathe out. Use those lower abdominals on your crunch. Get those hips higher. Get into those glutes on your hip bridge. 10 seconds. Few more good quality reps for me. Next one's last ones. Lift, lower, crunch. Come on up. If it's helpful, I know you're going to be on the hands right now, but you might like a cat-cow or a child's pose as a little micro pause. If you remember your options or remember what you did on the first round, this is the one where we're on or in an elbow plank and I'm putting my bum up in the air, creating that dolphin pose, or it's kind of like a down dog in that elbow plank. If you want the hybrid hold, knee down, straight leg, swap all the time, sort of count in your head. You can do 10 seconds on and off, or give me an all fours, toe tap, all fours balance, something where you're not stopping, you're still with me, and we're going to keep going through. Are you ready? Let's get down. I'm going to get down on my forearms. I'm in my plank. Let's hold it if you can for about sort of 5 seconds before you get going. Zip up the legs if they're not there already. Put the bum in the air. Go on your tiptoes for me. Come back. Put the hold element and make these work a little harder for you. Lifting, lowering. So here, one more. Are we good? Lift it and pause it there. Same is true. Any little shake out, lift up and shake out, side bend, chest opener, anything that you feel is a good option. Just keep releasing so that we're not continually working the same muscles without any kind of a pause. Because you've got the down dog now with the opposite arm reach or tap. So it's a tap to the ankle, a tap to the shin, one side and the other. So if you haven't done the all fours balance, you'd like that one now, brilliant option. If you haven't done the toe tapping either side in an all fours, another good option. Otherwise, repeat something that's come before, even if you want to get up and give me another version of a squat. So are you ready? Plant those hands, lifting up, press into the heels. If you're staying here, then go ahead and reach. You could tap hold for a little extra pause. Keep your tailbone up, keep your heels down, keep your core engaged. But if you want it, walk it forward, slide, hold, push back, heels down, stretch it, stretch it. I've got one more of that option. So plank. Now you're in the down dog. Reach, reach, and pause. Child's pose if you like, otherwise come on up, because you're kind of halfway there, and just give me some sort of stretch and release, wiggle and shake up here. So, up next, water break for sure. Take your time, have these pauses when I give them, but you feel free to pause anytime you like. But what we're going to go into next is some tucking of the t-shirt because it keeps going everywhere. So we are going to pause for this particular set. We're going to go on to the second, and like I said, we'll see whether we revisit that one or we pick and choose a couple of them and merge it together with our second set. So second set has a whole new fresh set of 5, and these 5 have a very similar format. So towards the latter stages, you'll feel a little bit more core centered. I'd love you to have the core every which way you turn. So we have reverse lunge with a 2-step return, as it were. So you'll step quite far back, then you'll come halfway, then you'll go back, and then you'll come in. If you want to, you just do the big step back, the middle point, and stand and start again. So you don't have to stay low in it the entire time. But there's 2 steps. So you've got the big step, the halfway, and then you could be back at the start. But we're not swapping sides. We'll do that on the second round. So are we ready? Let's get that good posture again. Lift up, lift out through the crown of the head, lift the chest up. Step nice and deep back. Come halfway, and then you could go out and in. If this isn't for you, or you'd like this option with some support on my left side, because that's the left leg is my front supporting leg, then that could be a brilliant option. This is more challenging if you don't come up. So we're going to cap it just a little earlier than we have our other leg ones. 5 seconds. And out. Ooh. That was a good one. So shake anything out you need. Just give me a little wander around. And then onward to a wide leg squat. So it does not have to be a wide plie. And we sort of touched upon it in the warm-up. So you're going to give me wide plie on its own with any kind of tempo changes or anything you like. If you do not like move number 2 that's gone together with it. So what I mean by that is the wide legs, so no turn out if you don't want to. You can come down into a squat and then you go down into a flat back. So it's like doing a kind of, it's called a good morning. So if you want to do it with the hands on hips, and you might want to try it with the wide plie. I did not mean to do that. I meant to do this, sorry. Wide plie, I put the two together. And then you can come here. It's going to be tighter, probably behind the knees. If you're okay with a prisoner arms, which just means fingertips at temples, for both of them, that looks a little bit more like the good morning, which is the second part of that exercise. So decide where you are. Fingertips at temples, lovely strong posture if you can. Come up, hinge, just a flat back, no lower. Slide down if you're available to do so on that very first wide plie or wide squat. So keep your chest up, keep the gaze up for that portion. Hinging at the waist, cores engaged, press into the heels, elbows wide for our good morning. Here you are in the latter stages of this, so you should have got a little handle on it now. Keep strong, finish strong. Give me one more. Down, up, and out of that one. Brilliant, perfect, lovely. So, same idea. We've now got a kind of hybrid. We had the hip bridge and the crunch on the last one. Similar kind of thing, but we're going to stay standing. We're going to do in and out with our squat movement. So as low as you want to go in the legs. I'm going to keep it parallel, so a tight and a slightly wider. Or you want to do the one in, one out. I don't mind. I'm not jumping anything though. And then we're going to crunch what sort of feels good. So just as a demo, we can have the slightly tighter, still kind of parallel legs. So you could come in and out, and then from there, you could just stand and give me a crunch. If you want to go out there and crunch, you might just start with a toe zipped up. So you could come here, out, and then you could crunch, go down, in, out, and crunch. That or the other may get merged into something completely different, but you're going to try, and even if you want to crunch right here in the middle, if you forget you're crunching out there and you want to do it in here, just don't worry. If you want to give me a couple of the in and out, then give me a couple of crunches together, break it down, but it's still got that combo. So, like I said, think less, just do. Let's get down. I'm going to go tight, wide, crunch, wide, tight, wide, crunch, wide, tight, wide, crunch, wide, tight, wide, crunch. This is my format. Absolutely. Do your own. Challenge yourself to stay connected with the core. If you can, get in those legs. At its heart, it is a squat movement. I think one more knot for me will do the trick. So I've got one more crunch, and then I'm just going to finish standing tall. Woo! That one was a bit more complicated than I thought. So now, like I said, the kind of core or classic core comes your way. So it's another hip bridge, because why wouldn't we work our legs and core again? If you want to repeat our one from the first set, because it resonates with you, it fits well, you like it, please do. If you want to come with me on this one, soles of the feet together, wide knees, so that we have got a wide version. So we're right into the pelvis, right into those inner thighs for the hip bridge. And then what you're going to do is you're going to give me a curl up. So same thing, but you've changed the position. So if you absolutely want to repeat round one, please do. If you're okay with this slight change and the change of the legs, come along with me. So soles of the feet together. Are you ready? Fingertips at temples if you can. Breathe in, hip bridge first, lower down, curl up, but no legs coming at you. That is the difference from the first round, from the first set. When I curl up, you must use your lower abdominals. Use them, keep them zipped up from the inside out. Are you staying true to your version? You do not need to come along with me if it doesn't sit right, but make sure we don't stop. You keep going, we don't give in, we just find an alternative. Last 5 seconds. And I'm going to stay up and just come up. So from here, I'm actually in the prime position. If you want to roll the mat up, if you've got a ball, if you've got a firm cushion and you like it wedged in sort of where your waistband is, please do. This is quite a classic. I do this in other sessions, in Pilates classes. It's a hinge back. So you can have both or single or none attached to your legs. You can give me C-curve if it's much more familiar or kinder to you in another way. Otherwise, you're doing the hinge from the tummy button, from the pelvis, all that line through the chest, through the crown of the head is like you've got a board up your back. I'm going to do my arms out, or you could do palms up for a change. Breathe in, breathe out. With a hinge back, your gaze is in neutral, then it's up towards the ceiling. It is really important that you keep your shoulders down your back. Breathe in, breathe out. Not too speedy. I have my heels digging in, but you can absolutely have your feet flat. If you need to take the arms out of the equation, if the head, neck, and shoulders are getting tired, you can support yourself. Let's do 2 more. Pull. Engage your core. 1 more. Perfect. Stretch it out down on the mat if you're familiar. Come up and have a water break. Move it around and just breathe. So any little shaking, moving, wiggling, I would say just wander. Wander whilst you do it. And I will go back to the top with you in just a moment. So we're taking a little bit of a head, neck, and shoulder release, if that is appropriate. I've just got my hands on hips, just to keep my shoulders out. But if you would like it, you can always pull the arms. I'm just wandering, like I said. I'm wandering side to side. And you can just gently shake it out or flick anything out. So, time-wise, we are looking good for this second round. This second round is starting from the top once again with a reverse lunge. But unless you are already switching, we've got to do the other side. That other side may not like the exact same thing that came on round 1, which was the wide, the full big step back, and then in and then out, and then in and then out, where you stay down. Me included, I might not like it, so I might have to come up. It really is entirely up to you. And don't worry, it's not giving in. You're just listening to the body if you have to modify, if you have to change your mind about something. So front of the mat, good posture. Are we ready? Other leg, go back, halfway in, step back. So you might have a little lean and a hinge, then you reset your posture to slide down into that space. If you need to do some and then come to the top, brilliant option. If you are okay where you are, you've got about 10 seconds. So if you can do it, stick with me. I'm going to do it now. Last 5 seconds. 2 more. 1 more. And up. Perfect. Exactly the same time as the first round. Check us out. So, wide leg or wide plie. And then you go into the hinge and the flat back for me. So if you don't want to go so deep, please just stay on the angle lifted with your chest and your head lifted a little bit more. If you're okay with that perfectly flat, you don't have to stay there, but we've got to push into the heels. We've got to use the core to bring you up. You decide whether it's hands on hips or fingertips at temples, but try not to hold the head and pull it. That's an absolute no-no for me. So, are we ready for this next one? So breathe in, slide down. It's wide plie or squat first. Then it's plant those heels, gaze goes down, you pull up, you reset, you slide. We just do not need these to be super speedy in the slightest. Feel the stretch on those hamstrings and inner thighs when we hinge forward. Use your upper body. Pull those elbows wider. Don't let them creep in. Keep pulling down on the shoulder blades. Keep challenging the gaze. Look up and out when you are in your squat. Look down at the floor when you're in that hinge. This is the last one. Make it a good one. And out you come. Lovely, perfect. So, I am ready to attempt that same combo. So, excuse me, who knows whether I'm going to get it in a successful fashion or not, but we are going with tighter and wider of squat. If you're fine with leaving that alone and just give me a load of those in succession, please do. If you want to do a cross-body crunch standing, or the pull version one side and the other standing, minus any squat combination, you can break it down into 2 sets, but still have it within this 45 seconds. And when you're ready, let's get our head in the game, let's do it. So, are you ready? I am coming down, out, crunch, wide, center, wide, crunch, wide, center, wide, crunch. I am staying low in my legs for the entirety. This might not be for you. You could come up to crunch, go back down. You could have a wider leg. You can have a tighter stance. It's all relative to your body. Just don't stop. Keep going. We've got 15 seconds. Almost there. Keep going. Last one through. This is from the beginning. Pull. Center. Wide. Pull. And come on up. Perfect timing. I mean, come on. That was 45 seconds right on the money. So, now we need to come down on the mat. Where are you at with this one? Did you come with me for our feet planted together, our heels and our toes all glued up, and our wide knees, hip bridge, and then curl up, but no leg movement in that second portion, or put the feet flat or do the heel down version we did in that very first set together. Are you ready? Wide legs, relax the shoulders. If you're okay, with fingertips at temples, lift the hips, squeeze, lower, and curl up. Look down at your pelvis. Look down your wall to make sure that you're curling up. You breathe in. When you're on the mat, you exhale when you curl. If you do not want to curl up, just do the hip bridge. Might be enough, or repeat, like I said, the movement from set number 1. We've got 5 seconds on the clock. Lift, lower, crunch, 1 more. And pause. I'm going to come up again because this is where we are. So roll the shoulders, roll them, relax them, wiggle out through the head, neck and shoulders. And then we are coming into that hinge back. Do you need a roll back? Do you need a support? So a little something in your back? Do you need to hold? I've given you all our cues prior to this. So let's just get into it. Shoulders back and down. Hinge. Release back up. Breathe in. And breathe out. Where are you feeling the hard work? Is it this hold? And then return. I would say yes, and I would say put the exhale in there. Inhale back, exhale up. Breathe in, breathe out. Take control of the movement. Take control of your breathing. You have 2 more reps. Next one, last one. And pause. Whilst you're here, straighten out your legs, and whatever version is a good option for you, let's slide into it. You don't have to slide and hold. You could slide down and up. You could put the feet together and have the flexed feet. If you have a band, you can always do this one with a band. Like I said, you don't have to hang on for dear life or pull if it's not natural for you. But if it's okay, let the head go. Breathe in. Breathe it out for me. Take your nice big deep breaths. Inhale. Exhale. So what we are going to do is we're just going to come on around, come on up. Time-wise, we are kind of on the money. So what I'm going to suggest is we pause it there. We have done 2 rounds of 2 sets. We've done a lot of volume. We've done a lot of different exercises, a lot of different movement patterns. So we are just going to chill out there. So just take some walking, sweeping arms, or stay put. If you want to take it into a lunge, you can just pull back, switch sides, open the chest, pause, and pull back. We're going to breathe in, and we're going to breathe out. We'll do one more like this, each side. And then from here, you're basically going to do the same thing, but you're going to come forward for me. So one foot in front, one behind. Non-negotiable, unless you have to. Keep both legs straight, just don't hinge by much. For it to be hamstrings and calves. If you can, everything faces forward, and you may or may not reach down. So you could reach to a chair here, back of the chair, a cabinet, or the seat. Excuse me. Then the front leg, swap sides, straighten up, stay low. Breathe in, breathe it out. Do that one more time. Bend in, have a little pause. So my chest is on my thighs. Switch it, heels down, straighten the legs, engage the calves, stretch the hamstrings, breathe in, breathe out. Step switch. Last one, last side. Keep the core engaged. On the way in and up, roll it up. When we're here, lovely big tuck of the tailbone, hands on hips, or put them down your lower back and just look up for me. If you can really let go with your chin, let's do it. And then tuck the chin, roll down the front, ease yourself. If you want to close the eyes, or you can hold the elbows and arms, just to make it more upper and lower body stretching here. Let's do it. Release. You soften your knees. I'm okay with mine as they are, but you soften on the way up. Same thing. Hands on hips, elbows back, lift it. When you come in, just straighten the spine, but pop the chin to chest. One side a look, center, other side. Let's do the same thing with the thumbs out. And a very subtle, gentle roll, because this will intensify it for you. Let's hold those fingertips, stretch out your arms for me, your forearms. I've just done a double one more each side, and just shake it out. You are all done. So thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate you being here, and I will see you on the next one.